Hey everyone, it's Ani with Chica's Kitchen, and it's about almost 8 o'clock, 7 something, and definitely too early. But I was thinking, I've had Danish on my mind, and I've never made Danish before. So I was going through some culinary videos, and I came across a chef from the Cordon Bleu culinary art school, and I believe I've got it down. I hope so. And I thought I'd give it a try. She kind of explained a lot of the differences in the flours and why they use different flours and the type of pastry flours there are. And I'm going to share that with you. So first of all, for this recipe, let me give you the ingredients, okay? I think I'm going to start doing that from now on because I'm not really into this setup on YouTube too well yet, and so I'm not the expert in blogging, I guess they call it. All I do is I just love to cook. I love to bake. It's a great pastime. It's so relaxing. You know, it's enjoyable. I find it to be so. And I just wanted to share, you know, my cooking online, my recipes, and, you know, my little tweaks and my creativity with the community, you know. And I know a lot of people, with the way the economy was and just the world is today, they, you know, so busy, they get away from, you know, traditional cookings, and that's kind of like phasing out. I can't tell you how many people I've run into that. What was that saying they say, can't boil water or something like that. Anyway, you know, it's so true nowadays. And so I just thought that, you know, I'd share my experiences and my recipes with the community. And if it helps in any way, it'd be nice if you all gave me a like and subscribed, and just, or made the recipe and posted a picture of it, you know, if you made one of my recipes. But it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. It brings people together. Food is such a nurturing, you know, way to really connect, you know, with people. It's good for the soul. You know, it makes everybody smile. If not on the outside, definitely on the inside. But anyway, this is what I thought I'd do today. I thought I'd make a pastry dough, a Danish dough. And a Danish dough is, there are two types of dough. From what I understand, from Chef Donahue Westman at Le Cordon Bleu, there are 3 types of dough. There's laminated doughs. 3 types of laminated doughs are, there's the puff pastries, the puff filled. Then there's the croissant dough. And then there's the Danish dough, which is what I want to make today. So the Danish dough has yeast. And what I've learned, you need to use 2 different types of flour. Bread flour for the strength, okay, to bind everything together and hold everything together. You need that gluten. Gluten are 2 different proteins that kind of strengthen as you work it and moisten it. And when you knead it, it comes together, it binds together and makes the bread stronger. Okay, it gives you a good hold. And then the other half is the pastry, which makes it puffy, kind of where, you know, you can make it a bit fluffy and airy. That doesn't have so much protein. Cake flour, you can use cake flour. It just has a little bit less proteins than pastry flour, but not by much. Now, you all know that I've always stated that I mix my flours. I always mix my bread flour with all-purpose flour. And it was really nice to know that I just thought I was just being weird. But it's nice to know that there's a purpose in it for it. And that's why I think my breads, you know, come out almost perfect all the time. You know, in the beginning with just all-purpose flour, they didn't seem to come together as well as they should have as far as the texture. Then I started learning that there's different types of flour for different types of bread because there's different types of texture in bread, you know, versus cakes and pastries, okay? So everything has a place. And then I found that bread flour was so high in protein that I didn't like the texture half as much as I thought I would by using it. I enjoyed the strength of it, you know, but I didn't like the texture as far as eating it. So that's when I decided to mix the bread flour with the all-purpose, and I came out with just a medium that works for me and for the way I like my texture in breads and such. So anyway, so now I've learned that cake flour, not being too far from pastry flour, mixed with bread flour is what they use for Danish rolls, or for Danish dough, I should say. So, and it's different for puff dough as it is for croissants. They are totally different doughs. I didn't know that. I thought once a pastry dough, always a pastry dough. You know, it was all the same across across the page, but it's not. And that was interesting to learn. So, and of course, I don't know if I said it, but Danish dough does have yeast. Okay, 10 grams, which is 2 teaspoons of yeast, dry yeast. All right, so here's the ingredients that I got. Now, when you watch, here's the thing though, when you watch culinary chefs, they don't give you the recipe. They are showing you techniques and explaining the ingredients and how they combine and work well together. Okay, the do's and don'ts. And that's great because that way you know, it gives you a way to understanding your ingredients and you can get creative, you know, even more so. Because you're understanding what you're working with. You know, you're understanding your tools. So anyway, but I did have written down already a Danish dough recipe. So, and there are many different types. There's also different types of folds. There's also different types of, I call them bricks of butter. Let me see, what did they call it? Oh, I don't know. I call it a butter brick. That's when you take about, I don't know, 4 to 5 sticks of butter and you bring it all together and you make a nice square or rectangle shape out of it. You mash it all together. Well, this chef uses about, I'd say, a 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup of flour in her butter. I'm thinking it's a 1/4 cup. Again, no measurements are given because they're demonstrating technique, not handing out recipes. Okay, so you have to be a pretty good judge of, when you're watching them put the ingredients together, of how much they're using. So I would think it's about a 1/4 cup of flour or 1/2 cup of flour, but no more than that. So that's what you would put in with your 5 sticks of butter in your stand mixer, or however you want to mash it up and make that brick. And that brick is used to put lay down on the bed of on your dough, once you roll it out into a rectangle, and you do your folds. Now there's a 4-fold technique, and then you work it down to 3 folds, and the lock-in of the butter does not count as a fold. You know, when you first put the butter down and fold the dough over and seal the ends, yeah, that doesn't count as a fold, okay? And you have to periodically, as you fold, you have to periodically rest the dough in the refrigerator so the butter can stay cold and firm. And you have to rest the dough, let the gluten relax so you can work with it better, okay, as you laminate the dough and get those layers of puffness, you know. But anyway, it was very interesting, and I'm not trying to bore you with techniques, but what I will do is I want to explain to you the ingredients and also show you the technique, okay? So, and we're going to make some cheese danishes out of this, by the way, eventually, but I'm just going to show you how to make the dough now. And this dough, if you make enough, if you make this recipe, you can actually divide it and freeze it. It freezes well. And when you have company surprises you, and you can make Danish, you know. You just roll it out, put some cinnamons and whatever, if you have strawberry jam in the refrigerator even. And, you know, roll it up and slice it into pinwheels or whatever. Twist it, get creative, and you could bake some Danishes right there, or make your cream filling, you know, and do it that way and bake it in as a casserole. Well, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do a layer of dough, Danish dough. I'm going to do the cream cheese filling, and then I'm going to do some cooked down apples on top of it. Put a couple of spats of butter, put a top layer of Danish dough, and then an egg wash, and then I'm going to bake it. Now, a lot of people do a quick recipe of this Danish cheese Danish rolls. They use croissant. Wrong dough. I mean, it's still good if that's what you got and you don't feel like making it for a quick recipe. I guess that's good. I've not tried it, so I don't know. But that's the wrong type of pastry dough for Danish. That's not a Danish dough. I will show you how to make a Danish dough. And you make enough, you'll have enough in the fridge for, or in the freezer. It'll keep, you know, for little emergencies. And the best thing to do, I think the easiest one is the other pinwheels. You know, you make a rectangle or a square, whatever you want. You know, you lay down some cinnamon sugar, you know, and some fruit if you want. I would do like some type of a jam, like if you've got some marmalade, orange marmalade, or strawberry jam, or grape jam, or you got some fresh strawberries in there, mix that up with the jam. You know, reduce it down, you know, boil it down with some sugar and mash it up, and then spread it on the dough. You could just get creative and do the kind of, you know, roll you want to make. Do a cream cheese filling roll, and then roll it up, and then just with the floss, dental floss, just slice them up like you do cinnamon buns, you know, and to little pinwheels, you know, or you can twist them, you know, instead of putting anything on it, just make your rectangle and slice long strips down, you know, with a pizza cutter. And then what you do is you take each strip and you twist it, you know, on each end like you would a ribbon, you know, and like you do the party roll papers. And anyway, and then once you do that, you twist it real tight. You kind of roll it into a wheel, you know, and then once you lock it in, you press down with your thumb in the middle of it, and you fill that part up with cream filling. You can do or whatever kind of filling. You know, you can do so much with this. So it's very easy. The only thing about this dough, making a pastry dough, is the time that you need. But this is quicker than ever. A lot of people tell you, a lot of recipes call for you to put the dough in overnight or 6 hours or this and that. Not so much on this one. This one is quicker. This one is half-hour intervals in between folds. Okay, you got, some people tell you to put, let the dough rest once you make your dough, to let the dough rest for 2 hours. And then make a rectangle, and then put the butter brick in, and fold it once, seal the ends, then put it back in the fridge overnight, and then take it out, or 6 hours, you know. Then take it out and roll it into a rectangle and fold this, fold. Well, not this one. This one is just, I'm going to say 4 half-hour intervals. So you're looking at just a total of 2 hours. So cut your time in by a long measure. So this is easier, and you get a fantastic Danish roll out of it, or Danish dough. I keep saying roll because I'm hungry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, but first I gotta go get my tea. I've already had my 1 cup of coffee for the day. Restrict myself. And let's see if there's anything else. Oh, they call it a butter block. Block. I call it a butter brick. I wonder why that is. Alright, it sounds better. It sounds like brick. You know, like you mean business. Alright, so let's see. Here's the recipe. And you want to do the 5 cups or 5 3/4 cups of flour. I'm going to say about 6. 5 to 6. And again, that would be 3 cups of bread flour and 3 cups of cake or pastry flour. 2 teaspoons of salt, 6 tablespoons of sugar, okay, and 2 teaspoons of dry yeast, okay, and so that's really like 700 grams of flour, 10 grams of salt, 10 grams of yeast, and I think it's 80 grams of sugar if you're into the G measuring. I like the old-fashioned measuring cups and stuff. Alright, and y'all can get my cream cheese filling recipe. I think I have it in one of my videos. If not, I'll show you that when I make the cheese danishes. Today is just going to be to make the dough, and I'll make the cheese danishes probably most likely this weekend. My husband has men's Bible study Saturday. I was going to make the cheese danishes for them, but then I thought, you know what, I'm going to make them some cream cheese cupcakes instead, because it yields more. You know, cheese danishes, man, it's hard to just be satisfied with small pieces. But if you get a cupcake, a cream cheese cupcake, you know, it's got the cookie crumb, it's got a nice chunk of cream cheese, it's very rich. And then you got a little glaze and a piece of fruit on top and a cupcake. You know, it's kind of a little bit more satisfying and filling. So, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to make the cream cheese cupcakes for them, and then make the cheese danishes for us. Maybe next month I'll make them the cheese danishes. First I got to get this down packed. You know, this will be my trial run making this dough with you all. Okay, and if it doesn't turn out, you know, you'll never see the video, because I don't want to share an incorrect recipe if it doesn't turn out. That makes no sense. You know, I'm not going to have you make my mistakes too. I'm trying to share videos of a perfected recipe, you know, and then also adding my touch, of course, to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be my recipe. You know, you get creative. All of these recipes, they all have a base. You know, everyone can make the base. Basic recipes. You know, everyone has the foundation. To make it your own, you have to tweak it. You have to get creative, like I've always said. So anyway, join me in this attempt to making Danish dough. Again, different from croissant dough and different from puff-filled dough, okay? Totally different flours, all right? And I'll look into the other recipes, and we'll start sharing those, all right? Okay, so I'm going to get my tea, and I'll meet you in my kitchen. Okay, guys, here we are in the kitchen. And if you have a stand mixer, you're going to need your dough hook and your paddle hook. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that you're going to need about 3/4 cups of warm milk. You could put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds or maybe 20 seconds. The reason why the milk has to be warm is because something about the homogenized or pasteurized milk kills the yeast, so you have to microwave that out of there. 4 tablespoons of soft butter is what you're also going to need. And when you do the salt, you put the salt in last. That's after you form the dough ball. Because why salt? As you all know from my other videos, I've explained salt kills the yeast. So you want to add that to the last minute. And that's going to be 2 teaspoons. Alright. And there's 2 types of dough. There's lean dough and rich dough. Well, Danish dough is a rich dough. So that's why we have to add the milk, not water. Alright, so here we go. I don't have pastry flour, so I'm going to use, as I said, cake flour. I'm going to use 3 cups of that. And 3 cups of my mix of bread flour and all-purpose flour. Okay? And I have more. I have a big bin in the pantry. So if this isn't 3 cups in here, then I'll just go and get that. Alright, first thing we're going to cream our butter, though, with the sugar. So go ahead and get 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm letting you know, 4 tablespoons of butter ready to go in the fridge. Alright. Have to soften that a bit in the microwave. So we're gonna, you know what? Let me rinse out this bowl. I didn't rinse it out. Gotta rinse it out. Dust. I don't want dust in my food. Here we go. I'm just a little particular about that. Even though I had the lid on this, there's still openings in the lid, you know? So the lid's right here. Alright, here's the rest of the butter. Okay. Then we're going to put in our sugar. Oh, jeez. Hands all buttery. Okay. All right, 6 tablespoons of sugar, which is 80 milliliters, I guess. I don't know. I don't know that math. It's 6 tablespoons. That's all I know. I'm old school. I don't know that math. That would probably be best if I open that. 5, 6, and I spilled a little, so I got extra in there. Okay. I'm glad it landed on my stove. Easy to wipe. Okay. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and put our paddle in. Well, actually, I'm going to use the dough hook. Use the paddle for when I make my butter brick. Just on one. Let it incorporate together. Okay, while I measure out and add cups of cake flour, regular flour, the mix I have. It's pretty much mixed. It's creamed together. Let me see if I can show you, give you a better look. There it is. Okay. All right, so 1, 2, Okay. Dude. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street. Ah. Okay. 3. That's it for that. Next, the cake flour. See if I can get this done. All right, 1, 2, 'Come on out of there. A little bit more. All right. And that's 3. Okay. Oof, ow, ow. Okay. Okay, making a nice mess. I always do. Okay, I'm going to set this rag because I'm sure I'm going to be making even more of a mess. Put soap on it. Okay, remember this is a trial run, folks. First time I'm doing this recipe. And, but I'm going to tweak it to where I'm not really going to do too many hours. You hear me? That hurts me. Okay. We got the sugar. Now we need 2 teaspoons of salt, which we're not going to put until the end. We need the 2 teaspoons of dry yeast. Well, I'm telling you, when I tighten a lid, I tighten a lid. Ah, finally. Alright, active dry yeast, 2 teaspoons going in. 1, 2. Okay. what's next? I got 2 eggs over here. Whoops. See what happens when you don't. Oh, that's flour. When you don't crack it on the surface, a flat surface. Okay, we got the 2 eggs, the 6 cups of flour, we got 6 tablespoons of sugar, we got the 2 teaspoons of dry yeast. Now we have to add the milk. Here's the thing, I like to use evaporated milk. So let's see if I have any in the refrigerator that I need to use. No, don't see any. So gonna open up a can of the fat-free evaporated milk. I wonder if I have any with fat. No, it's all fat-free. And we're gonna use 3/4 of a cup. And since this is evaporated milk, I do not have to nuke it. But if you're using whole milk, please do. Okay, 3/4 of a cup. Now, I may need more, because I added a full 6 cups, so I'm not putting that milk away just yet. It's at room temperature, so were the eggs. Everything stands to be at room temperature. The butter, the eggs, and the milk. Alright, so now we're going to go in here, and we're going to mix this. Where is my, here it is. Okay, we'll start off slow at 1. So everything gets mixed in there. The sides, you got to do that. And it looks like it's going to need more milk, but we shall see. It's pretty soft. I mean wet. It's kind of dry to me, so I'm going to put in the whole can. of evaporated milk, and this is 12 fluid ounces. It's about a cup and a half. Let's see. Yep, a cup and a half. That looks better. Okay, you let that mix in there for about 5 to 8 minutes until you see strands and a softer dough. I'll go ahead and put my timer on for 5 minutes first, and I'll bring you back. And that's okay, the machine's gonna jump, that means it's doing its job. Okay, now that we've got that into almost a dough ball, we're going to go ahead and put in our 2 teaspoons of salt. Now that everything's well incorporated. There it is, 2 teaspoons of salt. That's about enough. We've got strands of gluten, which is what we want. It's a nice, soft textured dough. Okay. Everything's incorporated well. And take this off. Gonna get our, push this back some. Make room for you all to see what's next. Okay, here's our bench scraper. I'm gonna use that to get the dough out. And here is our pan with some parchment paper cut out and flour on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our dough from this bowl and put it onto the pan. Ooh, nice and soft. And that's how your dough should be. Nice and soft, sticky. Okay, you want that in this type of dough. Okay. Now you flour your hands with some of the flour. And what you want to do is you want to pat this down. Start getting it into our rectangle. See, dough also remembers its shape, believe it or not. Okay. So, if you pat it down, that's the timer. And to the size of the pan, it'll remember. shit. When you go to roll it down into a rectangle, it makes life easy. Oh, yes, it does. I mean, this is just what I'm doing. I don't know if... I can't remember if the chef did this or not. I think she did it after the first fold. But I'm going to do it now. Even out this dough. Get me some corners going. Okay. All right. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to let this dough relax in the fridge. Okay, we're going to wrap it and let it relax in the fridge for 30 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Always happens. You know, I could be sitting around not doing anything and nothing. As soon as I start filming or doing anything, there goes the ding. Alright, so we got this wrapped finally. And we're going to go ahead and refrigerate this for 30 minutes. Set our timer. I shall bring you back for the next step. Okay guys, now it's time to make our butter brick. So I've got, should be salted butter. I've got 5 sticks. 4 are salted and 1 is creamed. Sorry, but ran out of salted. Okay. I'll be right back. I gotta check my sugar. Sorry about that, folks. My monitor was trying to kick me out because It asked me for a blood glucose test, and I didn't hear it. Anyway, it's all good now. All right. This is 4. And 5. Now this is for my butter. I can't help it whenever I say butter, I say butter. For my butter brick, my butter brick. Gotta eat me some grapes so the machine won't kick me out. I hate eating breakfast. All right. Now, as I said, the chef didn't show how much flour. I've never heard of flour in a butter brick, but this is what she did. It looked to me like a 1/4 cup. So I'm going to put that in. I'm going to start with that. Whatever, it's an added. And for this, we're going to use the paddle. And we're going to get in there. Of course, we're going to start off with 1. Ooh, that was jumpy. I better put that guard on. That did more of a mess than the flour did. Okay, that's because the butter is so cold, which it should be. There you go. Little rough start there, buddy. And yeah, it's gonna stick all in the paddle. Which means you have to go in there and separate it. Okay. Shush, that was just me. Boots thinking somebody's knocking. Just push it through. I don't know why I did it with this. I should have done it with a beater. You know? With a handheld mixer. Or what people call egg beaters. Trying to follow her way. Next time, definitely going to use the beater. Just from the sides. This is messy. I actually put it in a Ziploc bag and roll it out with the roller. But evidently, this is the way. I think I'm going to stick to my method. Shortcut. Easier, not as messy. Lord. But we learn as we go. Okay, we don't want it to get too melty. I don't know why I put that away. And I think I'm going to use a Ziploc bag to put this in. Not the method she used, but it's going to be the method I use. Okay. Excuse me. I take sodium bicarbonates and it always makes me bitch. See, that's what I'm talking about. You take medications in the morning. Who wants breakfast? Yeah, you wake up with all that fluid on the top of your belly in the first place. You know, what they call bile. And then these machines expect you to want to eat with all that on top of your belly. And then you gotta take your medicine. That makes it worse. Ugh. You gotta wait till all that stuff passes through. That's why a cup of coffee in the morning is really important, or tea. Something to get flush down all that bile so it can leave your body. Let you feel better. Okay. Now I need my bench scraper. Because we're going to go ahead and scoop this up into this bag. Open wide. Oh, Lord. Yuck. Feeling of gooey butter. Okay. You want all that goodness. All right. Wash your hands. Okay. We want to kind of let the air out. We are going to roll out or press out a rectangle. So I'll get my rolling pin. Let me get this out the way. That's soaking. I'll push this back. I'll wipe it down in a second. I gotta get this bottle in the fridge. Air out. To let the air out. But not the butter. Get back in there. Okay. Okay, that's about as blocky as I'm going to get, I think. All right? That's my butter block. About ½ inch. That's enough. I'm not going to put this in the fridge. And "30 minutes. It should have been done at the same time. But like I said, this is my trial run. I'm learning as I go here. Alright, so I'll bring you all back in about 30 minutes. Okay, our timer has ended. Now it's time to do the butter mash. We're going to get our butter and our dough out. Okay. Brick. That's probably what I call it, a brick. Alright, so the only thing is that we're going to have to switch over to the other table. So let me see if I can get this. I'll be right back. Okay, this should be much better. Go ahead and get a surface floured. Scissors. Okay. Get our go out. Okay. Now we already know that's the size of the pan. Okay. So okay, what we're going to do now is brush off. Can you use your hands? Whoops. Don't get your nails in the dough. Okay? Now we're going to put our brick onto 2/3 of the dough. Actually, that would have been good to save in another baggie for when you have to grease pans. Oh well, too late. Okay. The reason why I'm doing this, because I don't want it to leak out at the edge. So I'm kind of in the middle. We have to seal the edges. Okay. Alright, so there's your brick. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold the side without butter in halfway, remove the dust, or the flour, as I said dust. Are you working with fairy dust on me? Okay, and then we're going to fold this over. Make sure that the edges meet. And then we're going to seal. See that? Seal those edges so your butter does not come out. All right, and we're going to this. Make sure you seal the edges, and you can do so with your rolling pin. Okay, and then you start rolling back out to the shape of the pan again. So just roll out. And you can use actually the paper. It lets you know put your fingernail marks on it. It lets you know where you have to come in at. Hey, so that one will work out. Let me try it this way. to get 4 rolls. My first one's going to be a 4 fold. At this point, this dough is very pliable, so it's easy to shape. So, now what we want to do is we want to do 4 fold. You bring it halfway, bring this one halfway. They should be touching. Brush off the excess flour and fold like a book. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes because I see some butter already melting. So back in the pan it goes. And we're going to put the saran wrap back on. Set it for 30 minutes, the timer. And I'll bring you back for the next fold. The next one is going to be a 3 fold. Okay, timer went off. So, time to do our 3 fold, our first of 3 folds. A little bit of flour. And get our dough. Nice and cool. Okay, so we are going to roll. Roll, baby, roll. It gets easier because once it remembers its shape, first of all. Has memory. Spring back memory. So, you should be able to keep your rectangle shape fairly easy. do a 3-fold. Like that. And bring out the edges. Okay, back in the fridge. That's our first one of 3. For 30 minutes. Remember, the first one, the lock-in, which is where we put the butter, it doesn't count. So then we did a 4-fold. That's 1. This is 2. We got 2 more 3-folds. And the dough will be ready. It'll be ready to work with, bake. Or you can divide it if you're not ready to bake just yet. You can divide the dough and package it up and freeze it. And that way, when you are ready for it, you have it there, you just let it thaw out for about 10-15 minutes, and it's easy to work with again. It'll be just as easy to work with as it is when you just first made it. So I'll be back in about 30 minutes. I just wanted to show you guys something. Remember the vanilla beans and vodka? Look, already. Yeah, shake it up. Gotta shake it up daily. I got this in here January 23rd. It's gotta sit in the cupboard for 6 months. You gotta shake it every day. And what am I making? Vanilla extract. Yep. That's all it takes. All right, I'm going to get me some lunch. It's about almost 11:30. So time for me to get some vittles, and I'll see you in about 28 more minutes. Okay, beep is going off. Let's go ahead and put you back up here on this phone stand. Use my hands. Okay. All right, let's get our masterpiece. Now this time, we've got 2 more 3s to do, but this is going to be different. Okay. Just slightly different. And I'm going to get my oven bake at 425. Because I think I'm going to make me one. Okay, let's get some. A little bit of flour down. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to try to get the width of the pan and the length. Let's see. It should be about the size of this paper. And not on this turn. It'll be on the after we fold. Okay, so I'm going to fold like this. Make sure the ends are touching. And like this. Okay. And we're going to turn. And now we're going to make it to, we got the width, we're going to make it to the length of this paper because we're going to lay it flat in the pan. And then after this we'll have one more and we shall be done. Just got to keep working it until it stretches out for you. Make sure you keep your corners. Moving. Okay, we're going to put this in the pan and back in the fridge. one more fold, stretch out, and the dough will be ready. All right, set the timer for 30 minutes, and I'll bring you back. All right, time's up. And this is going to be the last roll out and fold. And then we're ready to store our dough. I'm going to freeze 2/3 of this. And I'm going to see about making, let me get some flour down. Maybe making a Danish or two. And roll this out. It's important to keep that rectangular shape. Okay, now we're going to do a 90-degree turn. Some butter coming out with some flour in it. Okay, let me get some freezer bags. All right. All over me. My bench cutter. And this is what I want you to see. Oops, sorry. If you can see, look at all those layers. See that? All those layers. That's going to puff up nicely. All right? And you know, you can actually use these to make, I guess some kind of pie. use this for pie or puff pastries a little bit. But I'm going to use mine for what it was intended for, which is Danish. There we go. It's just beautiful. Yeah, and them layers. And when you're ready for it, you just roll it out, you know, to about 1/8 of an inch thick. To a square or rectangle, and you know, you get busy doing what you need to do. Now, I'm going to demonstrate because I'm actually going to use this much. And I'm going to make some. I'm actually going to make some Danishes. So these will go in the freezer. A nutty mixture, or what do they call that? Kind of almost a streusel. And for the 30 minutes that it's going to take for this to rest, I'll put it in a sandwich bag in the refrigerator before I roll it out. This should be thawed out. Make some nutty, jammy Danishes. So yes, I am. And that's going to be another video. Alright, so there you have it, folks. In a matter of 3 hours, well, it takes about 3 hours to make the dough. I'll be right back. Hey. Woo! All right, so we made our dough. It wasn't that hard, really. It was just more waiting than anything. Once we got the mixture, the dough going and in the tray, just a little bit of muscle work, not too much. You know, rolling out the dough. For me, it was anyway, in my week, whatever. Anyway, 3 hours. It took 4 30 minutes. That's 2 hours. And about an hour of prep time. And, you know, once you get used to the recipe, I'm sure it's quicker. It probably would only take about 20 minutes to get everything together. It took me about an hour, but then I did stop in between. I get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say that 2.5 hours, once you start getting this recipe down, in and out, and you make enough that you know, you don't have to make any more for a while. So I think, you know, we did pretty good. So the next video is going to be the Danish. I've got it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. And I'm going to make some Danishes. I am, because it's been on my mind. I've been craving some. So I'm going to make me and Hupster some. Got some leftover baklava filling. And I think I'm going to use that and some strawberry jam and orange marmalade that I have in the refrigerator. I'll use that for now. But the other Danishes that I'm going to make is going to be a cream cheese filling with some apples, cinnamon apple filling. So that's going to be in a casserole style. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3 batches, 4, because I'm making a smaller batch now. But so I've got 4 batches, and God knows, I don't know, those 3 that I have in the freezer might give me 2 each. Who knows? We'll find out. But I hope you enjoyed making that with me, following me on this journey to making Danish dough. It was my first time, and I hope you'll give it a try. And I hope that my demonstration will be a plus for you and assist you in making your Danish dough. If you do make it, please give me a thumbs up. If you watch this, subscribe and post a pic. Let me know. Let me see what you got. I'll have a lot more exciting recipes coming. I'm doing a lot of research, learning so much. It's so much info. I have to write it all down so that I don't forget. And I'll be able to pass that on to you, for beginners especially. Okay, so next up is going to be my Danish recipe. This very same dough that I just made, I'm going to try it. So I invite you to join me in that journey too. Until the next one, which will be soon. Take care of yourselves and one another. God bless you. Bye.